What's up, world? Name is Black Talent. Take y'all through a little history lesson on who I am. I grew up in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, man. I think my neighborhood was pretty fucked up because 64-ounce beers, crack was out, a lot of crack babies was being born, drug dealers were shooting each other. Them kids grew up to wind up running neighborhoods and terrorizing even more. Eventually, we moved out to Style, wound up in downtown Brooklyn, Whitecroft. My sisters, they started coming to age, started looking for boyfriends, started bringing drug dealers home. Problem is, my mom was a recovering drug addict, so she wound up selling drugs, unfortunately. Now, that wouldn't go on for too much longer because in my neighborhood, we had some nosy ass neighbors and they wanted to know why the fuck all these drug dealers was upstairs in the hallway. So she stopped selling them drug dealers. They wound up trying to take her spot. Them dudes from down the block wasn't having that shit. They wound up getting smoked and sent to jail from the nosy neighbor. Now, Gowanus wasn't really an area that I really wanted to be in too much. I mean, it's kind of cool, you could go down there and meet, different females and stuff. But I wanted a girl from somewhere like Queens, a nice neighborhood, good, wholesome girl, good family, nice place to go visit. But that's not where I wound up. I wound up messing around down there in GP, falling for one of them red bones down there. Yeah, and let's just say she had a couple of fans from, the neighborhood that wasn't too happy with dudes coming around to see her. So she trying to explain to me who's cool. Oh, he's all right. He's all right. I'm like, shorty, only if you knew. So I ain't really want to be down there too tough. I met a couple of cousins, brothers, and some of her family members and friends, and I was good. I wanted to get the hell up out of there. But for the most part, I got to know Gowanus a little bit from living down there for so long. But like I said, Queens and good areas is where I wanted to be. Me and Shorty wound up being together, having a kid, wound up moving into Marlboro. I wound up working and trying to do my best to take care of them. It was cool for a little minute, but for the most part, Marlboro will always be Marlboro projects over there in Grayson, other side of Coney Island. People shooting up, stabbing each other, all kind of shit going on. So one thing you can always count on is for the hood to be the hood. And not for nothing, Shorty had like a short temper. So between the dudes in the neighborhood, what I'm saying, trying to be social and trying to holler at her, and the chicks, her fist fighting and putting speed knots on girls' heads and dudes scratching on my cars and shit. It wasn't long before she had beef and females waiting in the hallway trying to shoot her, me, whoever they could catch. So I wound up, arming up trying to deal with that shit. But for the most part, I ain't want to shoot no females, and I wanted the opportunity to live my life. Plus, Coney Island, they had some white girls out there with some fat asses. I'm not gonna lie, and I got a weak spot for a white girl with fat ass. Between that, me getting locked up from meticulous little shit, I kind of made a promise to myself that if I did get out of jail, sleeping on the floor on Rikers Island, and going through that shit, I would get out the city. I was tired of it. I was tired of the bumper to bumper traffic. They slowed the speed limit down to 25 miles an hour. Man, I was done with that shit. Me and Shorty going through our back and forth. She wanted me giving me 3 kids, four to be exact, out there. But instead of us going in separate directions, she wanted me to try one more time. So I did, packed them up, moved them out to PA, took them to the Poconos area. I thought it was a nice opportunity for us to try to fix our family. So how would I look to ignore that? I put them up in this spot right here, paid it up for about a year, and we began our ventures in Pennsylvania. Now, PA was different. We was used to the city life, but we found toys out here. Yeah, that's right, grown man toys, shit that wasn't available to me in Brooklyn, but out here, it was like, it was dope shit